welcome to another episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. I'm James.
Yeah, I'm Sarah.
And on this week's episode, I'm going unscripted and open, Sarah.
I'm so proud of you.
What we're going to do today is just really talk about women that we find inspiring. And this could be either activists or celebrities or people that we like and make us feel good about something. And then we'll also look at some indie music artists if we get to that. And I got inspired from watching two of the people that I'm going to be including in this week's episode. Some old videos of This Might Get, which is the small, short-lived weekly or daily episodes that Mamrie Hart and Grace Helbig were putting out that then they transformed into a podcast that they do now.
Nice.
So, excuse me. As part of some of their episodes, every now and then, they did a what was it? Like a love it or shove it is what I think they called it. So they talked about 3 things that they loved and then 3 things that kind of made them mad or that they hated and want people to shove. So I thought we could do that every episode.
Okay.
So throughout the week, think of 3 things that you like and 3 things that you would like to never see again.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
I thought that would be a fun way to end the episode, and it also kind of harkens back to a show that I like that's no longer on, but they have an awesome podcast now, so that's fun. Well, Sarah, do you have any people specifically that you can think of?
Let's see. There have been a lot of really awesome women in my life. I would say, well, I guess the first one that always comes to mind is Marilyn Monroe, because I love Marilyn Monroe and have loved her since I was like a little kid. She remains the perpetual love of my life, and I wish that she had gotten to live to an old age. Let's see. Anne Frank is another one. Her diaries really showed me that her diary really showed me that a lot of the thoughts and feelings I had as an adolescent girl growing up were perfectly normal, that even people back in the day had those feelings.
Yeah.
So,
going back to Marilyn Monroe, why do you think she's so inspiring?
why is she so inspiring? I think she's just inspiring to me because she, kept trying to do the thing that she really loved and kept trying to like show who she was as a person, even though Hollywood kept trying to force the image on her of, just being a sex object.
Yeah.
Because like she was super smart. She like wrote poetry. She read books constantly. Like she was like a really intelligent human being. And I don't know.
It's interesting that you say that, because it's like you don't really, unless you look for that, you don't really see that part of Marilyn Monroe depicted anywhere. Or
yeah, you have to like really look for it.
What was her actual name? Barbara Jean? No, not Barbara Jean.
Norma Jean.
Norma
You're
Jean.
close. Yeah, Norma Jean. And I'm just like, I don't know. She, like, I read like some poetry that survived and whatnot, and I just feel like she deserved better than she got.
Yeah. And then going back to Anne Frank, you kind of talked a little bit about it. Is there anything that like you would have liked to see her do with her life if she were able to live?
I think she would have written some really cool stories, like just because her perspective on some things was really interesting, and I just think that she would have written a lot of really great books and been a very interesting human being.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know that much about Anne Frank, but I just know kind of like the basics. Like she was hiding from the Nazis in Nazi Germany in the attic of someone. Attic? It was the attic, right?
It was in an attic, yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't for like someone's house. It was for a business.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd actually really like to go to the Anne Frank house. It's a museum now, so it's a goal I have for before I die.
Anyone else? Anyone
So
in your personal life, like family members or anything?
my sister, honestly. Yeah.
Sister is pretty cool.
My sister's really cool. Like I don't know. I love everything about her. I'm a little biased in that way, but like, I don't know. I find her inspiring. She, works her ass off. She's getting her degree in like English lit, and she recently won a contest with one of her poems, and yeah. she's just a pretty cool kid, even though she's not a kid anymore, as she likes to tell me.
How
She
old
turned
is she now?
27.
Oh, gross.
27.
Nah, she's 12.
I know. I know that's what I tell people is you still think she's 12, which is fair. I don't know. Our friend Samantha is pretty inspiring. Like, she's pretty kick-ass. She doesn't give herself enough credit for it, but like she moved out to DC and like did the thing.
Yeah, I think she is a little hard on herself, and I'm glad she's going, like, she's figuring out things and working on herself now. Like, she took the initiative to say, I can't do this right now.
Hmm.
My mental state, I need to leave and figure that out, and then I'll come back to the working world.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's great. I really genuinely admire her a lot. Should probably actually tell her that and not just say it here on the podcast.
well, we'll send her a link to this week's podcast.
We'll just be like, okay, this episode you have to listen
To this episode. I'll put a timestamp in there for her and everything. Like, at this time you have to listen to at least this part.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, to me, I know it's going to sound weird, but I don't know if I would say inspirational, but influential in my life. My mother is
Yeah.
influential, as in, I see the things that she did incorrectly, and the things that kind of she did and took advantage of, or took for granted, and it kind of made me into a better person. Because I know, like, I can't do this with my life because I saw her do it and it messed up so bad that
Right.
it's like, I know it's like a tale of what not to do, basically.
So she's influential in the opposite way of how we usually think influential.
Yeah, right. So she influenced me her negative actions influenced me in a positive way.
There you go.
There we go. It's a good way to say it. And then also, like, I mean, there are some good things about my mother. I'm not going to say she's a terrible person all around. She's also, like, just her thrive for life.
Right.
She likes life. She loves life. She likes to work at things that she wants to do herself.
Right.
Even sometimes to the detriment of her own children, which when we were little, that was kind of the biggest issue. But seeing that it's like, oh, you can have what you want as long as you're not greedy about it, and not to the detriment of other people. And then I was talking about Mamrie Hart and Grace Helbig. They're the type of friends that I would love to have, because they just seem so fun all around, and they're both so, like, witty and interesting. And then, like, the information they have and that they come up with on, like, in a short time period is so crazy. And, like, the creative mind of Mamrie Hart, and, like, the movies she's made. She just got, I think it was a series on TV she's writing. She was one of the writers, and it got greenlit. It's interesting. And also, they're like unapologetic, this is who I am. If you don't like it, don't watch my YouTube videos. I don't care. Like,
right. I know that, like, I'm counting them right now because they're drag queens. They refer to themselves as she, her half the time, so I'm gonna give it to them. Katya and Trixie Mattel, especially for, like, you know, that they literally say it in is that, you know, you don't like it, don't watch.
It's our show, not yours. Yeah,
it's our show, not yours. So don't like it, you don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, I think kind of in the same vein, Peppermint she's a trans icon right now. Well, she always has been a trans icon, but she's one of the drag race girls that is like, she's very active in she's an activist for the trans rights. She's fighting against the legislation that's coming out right now. To me, she's just an all-around amazing, awesome person. And she's inspirational as well. So
yeah,
I would like to also include Peppermint. And then, like, if we're including, we can have a whole entire episode dedicated just to drag queens, because
we could absolutely do that.
They're so amazing. But
I did want to include Trixie and Katya because, like, you know, they're doing the thing, and, like, yeah, they have that male privilege outside of drag, but I'm just, you know, I'll let them have it while they're in drag.
And then I would say even more in my personal life, like when I think back to my work, I have like the people that were my kind of mentors and trainers when I was first moving into the role. And the only reason I have the role I have, like Candy Searing, she's my coworker I started working with her. She taught me basically everything I know almost about our system and every like all the requirements, why they're requirements, the kind of reasons behind how we do our training, and like the not only that it works well, but also kind of the psychology behind it a little bit. She just I like her. I love her a lot. She's really has been like the one of the main reasons, aside from obviously my ambition and my like drive for the knowledge about the systems. She's really like, she's been a cheerleader. She's always been kind of like, well, I think it's good for you, even though it's going to kind of suck for me. Go move to California. It's going to be good for you. It's good for your career. You're young. It'll be, you don't have kids, you don't have anything really tying you here other than your family. It's going to be good for your career to move out to California. Even though I'm losing you and it's going to suck, it's going to be good for you. And then even like right now, Karen, she's my boss, but she's also my peer and my like my coworker. She's awesome. Karen Macri. She's like literally the only reason I moved out here, because she was like, I have loved working with you just over like the Teams calls that we did with the working on the metric project that we worked on, or still currently working on. She was like, I've loved working with you with that. If you're interested, move out here. You won't regret it. And it's really like, she's really, after I moved out here, she's really been like, again, my cheerleader. She's been pushing for things that I want, and really asking me and developing me and saying, what do you want? What would you like to see out of this role? And what would you like to see in the facility in Quincy? And how can we get it that way? And she's like, as long as I present it and I'm like, here's what I want and here's why I think it's a good idea and it makes sense, she's like all behind me saying, do it, let's get it done. And then like, if I need someone to, which I don't typically need someone to help because I'm pretty self-sufficient, but if I did need some help and like need some like someone in my corner, someone in my back, someone that had my back, she would definitely be one of the people that's like would be there and I can count on.
Yeah, I love that. My friend Saniqua is like that I worked with at Walgreens. She's amazing. She's out there doing the thing, and I don't know. She just is always like when we were working together, she was always super supportive and there to especially listen if like a customer was being shitty or whatever, or to like back me up.
Customers being shitty, I never.
I know. That never happens. I'm making it up clearly. My friend Natalie back home in Bloomington, she also has always been like a cheerleader, even though she did not want me to move to Texas at all. I was like, please don't move. Please don't move.
Go ahead.
No, that was it. Go for it.
I was gonna say, even like Jiraiya from Two Hungry Bitches. I don't know her, but like just watching her videos and like the drive that she has to even just go, like even ask the company, like the place she's going. Like she recently had a giveaway on her channel for like, I think she was giving like, I don't know how many gift cards she was giving away, but she was giving away $150 in gift cards. That doesn't all, I doubt that all of that came from her pocket. She reached out,
Right.
she reached out to that company and was like, hey, I reviewed your food and stuff on my channel. Would you be interested in donating gift cards to me? And I'll plug your channel again, or your restaurant again. So it's like, that's interesting. And that's something that I was like, it would be awesome to be able to do. But at the same time, it's like, it's always difficult asking for someone for something. And I don't know why that is. Like, it shouldn't be, especially if it's something that is going to be beneficial to both yourself and then like the people. So that's kind of awesome and influential, I think. Interesting how, and then hearing her talk about it on the podcast a couple episodes back was also really inspiring.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I just liked it. She was just like, I just like food, so we went for it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, absolutely.
What about like Laverne Cox? I know we talked about her in a couple episodes back too.
Oh yeah, for sure. 110%. I love Laverne Cox.
Yeah, just her desire and her like fight. And she's like, I'm not just fighting for trans rights, I'm fighting for women's rights
Yeah.
and trans women's rights at the same time.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Drew Barrymore. I
I,
love Drew Barrymore.
I love Drew Barrymore.
She's the
She's so
sweetest person in
wholesome.
the world. And it's like I was watching a video, I can't remember what her name is. I think it's like Sarah something. She's in Coyote Ugly. Let me look her up real quick. Shouldn't take very long. I just have to look up Coyote Ugly.
I'm just like trying to think of like anything that I remember from Coyote Ugly.
Oh yeah, her name's not Sarah. It's Melanie Linsky. I don't know why I thought it was Sarah. Anyways, she was talking about how she was it was when she was in Ever After with Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore gave her a gift, and she was like, I want to give her something. So I went to the store and I found these plates that had butterflies on it, and it was a series of plates, and each butterfly had the wings in a different position. And she gave them to Drew Barrymore, and I can't do a Drew Barrymore impression, but she did an amazing Drew Barrymore impression, and I'll find the TikTok because it was on a TikTok video. And she was like, Drew was like, these are so beautiful. I think if they were to fall to the floor and crash and break into a million pieces, each of those pieces would say, Melanie loves you, as they shattered.
Aww.
That's so sweet. She's insane. And then just the way she interacts with everybody on her talk show. She's just like, she's always there. She's always so invested, and she always crawls across and like has a moment with them where she's holding their hand.
Yeah.
She's having just a moment or hugging them. Or Dylan Mulvaney is another one.
Dylan Mulvaney for sure, especially because she's getting so much hate on Twitter, and I'm just like, bro,
I don't understand.
I don't either. I just don't understand. And like, here's the thing that irritates me the most though, like all this hate on Twitter that I'm seeing for Dylan, but then one of the people who's spreading the most hate is Ollie London, and I'm just like, are you really one to talk when you quote unquote try to transition into being a Korean?
I don't even know who that is.
Ollie London is a terrible human being who has spent thousands upon thousands of dollars trying to look like Jimin from BTS, but also like apparently at one point was trying to transition, and then decided to detransition, like one of the few people that detransitions.
Oh yeah, I see.
And is writing a memoir all about it, and it's just like attacking Dylan Mulvaney relentlessly. And I'm just like, okay, why are you so obsessed with Dylan?
Yeah, I think it's like Dylan is just so, the life that they have is so empowering, and the way that she puts everything on TikTok, and like she's gone through her transition and her facial feminization surgery that she just did, showing like what it looked like before, what it looked like during a little bit of the healing process, and then like revealing it the way that she did, doing her whole 365 days of being a girl show. Have you seen stuff about that?
I've seen stuff about that.
Like she was able to go from this person that was very little known about her to selling out a theater in New York and putting on a show all by herself. Well, I'm sure she has a team, but
right. But yeah, I'm just yeah. And then of course, one of my women that really inspires me is Mercury Stardust on TikTok.
oh my god, I love Mercury.
I love her so much.
I might reach out to her and see if she'll come on and do an interview.
That'd be so cool.
That would be.
I would fangirl.
I might not be able to have you on that episode.
Because I would be fangirling.
Yes, I might just have to. We might have you on the episode, and I'll just sit back and let you do your thing the entire time.
Just let me squeak. Oh my god, it's Mercury Stardust.
Yeah,
No.
Sarah Mercury Stardust entire episode. But I think it's awesome how she goes through and she shows you like, here are some things that if your landlord is garbage, or you want to make your living situation a little bit better because your landlord is garbage, won't do these things, you can do them yourself. Or if you want to even just make it like more livable, like more personalized to you, here are some things that don't damage the rental property but can make it to where you're more more comfortable and place that you're living is a better reflection of yourself.
Yeah, she's amazing, and like I love watching her TikToks. I'm just like, wow, this is fantastic.
She's so goofy too. Like her laugh, I love her laugh.
I know. Oh my god, and her makeup's always so cute, and I'm just like, oh my god, why can't I do makeup? Anyway, but yeah, no, like literally, I would just one of two things would be happening if we had Mercury Stardust on here. Either A, I would be screaming, like fangirling hardcore the entire time, or I'm going to be like just completely catatonic and just staring. Oh god, I could see it now. Mercury would be like, are they okay? And you'd be like, yeah, they do that sometimes.
She has a get in touch with me on her website. I'm looking at her website right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm gonna save it and see maybe if it's like I'll see. I'm not promising anything, Sarah, but
no, I know.
Reach out and see.
Can't make any promises.
Yeah.
But like if she just happens to listen to this episode in particular, please come on our show.
And then, like, to me, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound like a cop out because I mean you're here, but you inspire me a little every now and then too. Because I mean, like, you moved to Texas and had like there was no reason for you to move to Texas other than I just want to move to Texas. And
yeah,
there's so much stuff that goes wrong in your life, and even though you have like a I hate this kind of reaction, you do still power through it.
Well, yeah,
with the support of other people, but
yeah.
Your ability to kind of be open about the issues that you're going through and include your friends in like, I need your help, I'm going through this, I just need to talk.
Yes.
I have a hard time showing my emotions and showing like when things are going wrong or things are really getting to me. I tend to just leave it alone and pretend it's not.
Yes, I'm aware. I know. Believe it or not, it's actually taken me like a really, really long time, because for the longest time when you, Sam, and I were in high school, I always viewed myself as the pity friend or the poor friend, because like I never had any money and I was always super supportive, but like there, I didn't have a car, I didn't have any money, and like,
I think it's
I was
funny
just kind of there.
I think it's funny because it's like Sam and I were both poor too.
I know, but like
I had a car, but I had a car because my dad paid $500 for a piece of crap car. That broke down anytime I drove more than 20 miles. Or like he did end up helping me get a newer car, but it was still, I liked that car when I had it, but yeah,
I just like always thought of myself as like the kind of sucky friend, so.
Yeah, but I think that's probably just because of your upbringing and the way that like
you mean trauma played a part in all that? What? But no, thank you. I appreciate that you find me inspiring on occasion. I think it's weird, but I'm also very thankful. So obviously I think you're inspiring, even though you're not a woman. So
I'm not a woman.
But we can get into all that in another episode, because I could probably do a whole episode on why I think you're inspiring.
Let's not.
No, you don't want to talk about what a great person you are?
I like to come across as I would like to be the center of attention and like to have someone, like, people talk about me all the time or give me accolades, but I get so embarrassed.
Same.
And uncomfortable when it does happen. And
that's so nice of you, but
I do like recognition, but I at the same time hate it because it's so uncomfortable. And
fair, reasonable.
It's like, no. Moving on. What about politically? Are there any politicians or people that are in the political group that?
Like I really like AOC. I know her first name is Alexandria
Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you. I can remember the Alexandria and the Cortez, but not the Ocasio. So I really like her a lot. But so many of our politicians have really fucking let us down.
Yeah.
Currently, I don't remember her name, but the senator who's been filibustering
Oh my God, yeah, I just saw that.
the anti-trans laws, bills that keep trying to come through in Nebraska.
Yeah.
She's doing the fucking thing. She had the strep, it's like she had strep throat and still was there for 8 hours every day, preventing any of the bills from going forward. Like she talked about the plot of the movie Madagascar. But she's doing the thing. I don't remember her name though. I'm assuming that you're looking her up right now.
I am, yeah. Michaela Kavanaugh
There we go.
of Omaha, not Nebraska. Wait, Omaha, Nebraska. Duh.
I was like, Omaha's in Nebraska.
Remind from the CBS News. She's been, like you said, talking about the plot of Madagascar. Been sick. She's basically just saying, "I'm not letting any other legislation go through until we kill this legislation. Even ones that I support. These bills targeting transgender people. I'm not letting it. I'm filibustering and not letting them go through."
Yeah, because she said the kids of Nebraska deserve better than these bills.
It's true.
Malala, I find her really inspiring.
I don't know who that is.
She got shot in the head by the Taliban for getting an education. Hold on, I'll send you. I think if you see her, that you'll recognize her.
You know, I said that we would talk about these 25 best female indie stars. I don't think we need to. Most of them are pretty well known.
Yeah, we probably only, I think when we were originally looking at that list, we even said a lot of these people are very well known and not just indie artists.
Yeah, I think maybe they mean like the genre. It's not mainstream music, although a lot of them are now mainstream.
Yeah, like I think wasn't Florence and the Machine on there?
Yeah, Florence Welch. And
yeah.
Then what's her name? Oh, okay, yeah. I know who this is.
Yeah, I knew you would. But yeah, I find her really inspiring. She and Rihanna met. There was a picture of them. They like met recently, and it was great. It was wholesome. I loved it. What about you, politics wise?
I mean, AOC. I love AOC and everything that she kind of has been fighting for and standing up against, and even like the issues that she runs into with the senators that she, or like not senators, well, representatives and senators that she has to deal with, and the way that she deals with them with so much class while they're being so garbage. It's awesome how she can just have the ability to sit back and say the things like, say, you have to apologize for this, without like coming across as rude or aggressive. Like she's just like, here's what happened. I'm pointing it out to the world that this happened, highlighting it and showing why you're such a piece of garbage without saying it exactly like that.
Right.
But she's also still there fighting for like the Green New Deal, things that are supposed to not only help the economy, but also help the climate change and reduce climate change and introduce new windmills and new renewable resources and stopping using oil and coal and things that are damaging to our climate.
Yeah.
And then in the same vein, Katie, what is her name? Is it Kate? What is her name? She's a California representative. She's now running for a senator.
I don't know.
Katie Porter. She's the one that always has the whiteboard.
Okay.
I love her. I like the way that she breaks the information down in a way that it's like, okay, here's what you're doing wrong. You're telling me this, you can operate $5 billion. Now tell me how this person that makes minimum wage can afford to pay all of these bills and have this $500 deficit. How are they supposed to make up for that $500 deficit? Tell me that, since you have the ability to work with $5 billion every year and handle that. What advice would you give this single mother of two, with a $500 every month deficit? And the person didn't have an idea, didn't have anything to say.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that video and a couple of others, but I don't think I ever knew what her name was. I remember her being from Cali though.
Yeah, she just launched her campaign to become a senator.
Nice. I love that. Oh, Feminista Jones is not a politician, but I was just reminded of how influential I find her. she talks about politics a lot. But Feminista Jones is just a really cool feminist on Twitter who, you know, talks about a lot of different things, the intersectionality of things. I've learned a lot from her, and she's amazing.
Is that her actual name? Feminista Jones? No, Michelle Taylor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Feminista Jones is her real name, but I love her.
I've never heard of her.
I've been following her on Twitter for years now.
I am toying with the idea of getting the Now About That pod with a Twitter handle, because it seems like you have to have Twitter if you want to be a business or anywhere in like the entertainment world, you have to have a Twitter account or be active on Twitter. And I hate Twitter. It's never been my favorite platform to use, because it's not like, I don't see the positive in it. Like, everything is so negative, and it's so, especially now that Elon Musk has taken over, I'm surprised it's still running.
It's shocking, I know. I wouldn't say that it's running well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I've finally gotten where I've been able to not necessarily curate everything that I see on Twitter, but I'm able to see a lot of important information without also seeing like a shit ton of negative stuff. Like, I'm able to mostly avoid the negativity.
Yeah.
But like, I worked really, really hard to get it that way.
But I think even like what I'm saying is like about like Dylan Mulvaney, what you were saying about Dylan Mulvaney and all the hate that she's getting on Twitter. And
yeah,
anytime someone that's doing something that is inspiring to a lot of people, there's always going to be so many people that go on Twitter because there's that anonymity of Twitter and the thought of, I'm not going to suffer the ramifications, even though I'm saying something hateful or something terrible on Twitter. I'm not going to suffer the ramifications. I've loved seeing the things where people do crap on Twitter and then people find out who they are and send the information to their jobs and get them fired, because it's like, you can't act like that and not think you're going to suffer ramifications.
Right.
That's the world we're in right now. It's like, if you're going to act like a fool and act like a psychopath and attack someone, you need to be able to deal with the ramifications that come along with that.
Right. You have to deal with the consequences. You can't. And then, of course, then people get all up in arms and they're all like, oh, free speech, free speech. And it's like, yeah, free speech for the government.
Like, go back
can't silence you.
And read that. If you want to use that amendment as your argument, read it thoroughly, because it does not say you don't have to suffer the ramifications. It says the government cannot
prevent you. Yes, the government cannot prevent you from saying what you want to say, as long as, you know, it's not threatening, obviously. But like, you can't just say shit and expect to get away with it every single time, especially if that shit is like, you know, misogynistic or trans-misogynistic or, you know, racist or whatever.
I just saw on TikTok, it was this woman. She went through a McDonald's drive-through, ordered something. They got her order wrong. I think they put onions on it or something, which is frustrating. I understand, but like, you react the way a normal person would and either just deal with it or go and ask them to replace it. Yeah. Like, she threw a fit, was throwing things at the people behind the counter and was screaming at them, and someone found out who she was and sent the video to her job, and she got fired. And then she was on TikTok and be like, you would react the same way. I'm on a diet and this was my cheat day. And it's like, it doesn't matter. You're an adult. There's no
You're an adult
for you to be acting like you're a child throwing a fit because of something that inconvenienced you. Ooh, get over it.
Yeah, it's like, you can't throw a fit anytime that you're inconvenienced. That's literally not how this works. Welcome to the world. Like,
right?
What the fuck? Oh my god. People are nuts. I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Yeah. How was your week? How has your week been?
You know, it's been okay. Finally got an appointment with my oncologist. Granted, it's not until April 4th, and it's March 17th.
I mean, that's not that far. That's like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but it's still...
It took a month.
I'm trying to find a freaking doctor just to have a like checkup, as like establish a primary care physician. And everywhere I call is either not accepting for 6 months, not accepting for the year, or I can't get a hold of anyone there.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are you supposed to set up how are you supposed to see a doctor? And like there was this one person, one company that I called, or one doctor's office I called, and they were like, we're only accepting new patients if you have just been born, if you are or have recently been hospitalized for some reason, or which this one is a good one, if they're transitioning, so going through transgender
Affirming care.
Yeah. So it's like, I just need a doctor. Like, I would like to see, like, why, like, every now and then my blood pressure spikes and I can feel it in my forehead get really high. So I would like to see what's going on. It's probably, I need to eat better and exercise more.
And reduce your stress.
Well, I don't really have that much stress.
Are you okay? All right, sure.
My stress is not like crazy stress. I'm
It's
inconvenienced.
still stress, though. Your body doesn't interpret it differently, you know?
I'm inconvenienced by a car dealership. That's not real stress.
That's still stress. Oh,
I filed my taxes.
there you go.
$300 and some later. I'll give you the exact figure. Give me just a second.
You had to pay $300 and some dollars?
Yeah, to do my taxes. Just to get my taxes filed.
Just to file them?
Yes.
I paid
$339.19.
Gross. Why? Why was it so much?
Because I had someone do them.
Right, but like I had somebody do my taxes back in Indiana and it was $80.
Well, it was not $80 for me.
Apparently not. That's why I'm saying, why was it so expensive?
I don't know, because I don't make that much money. I mean, I make a comfortable amount, but I don't make that much money. And the person was looking at my taxes, and she was like, "Oh, it looks like you made a little bit less last year than you did the year before." And it's like, well, yeah, the year before I moved from California to Indiana, then Indiana to
Rhode Island.
So those moving expenses were paid for by the company, so they were included in my income.
Yeah.
So there was like $20,000+ included in my income that I didn't actually make.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Moving is expensive, especially if you pay a company to do it.
No joke. Oh my goodness.
And moving back to Indiana, they had to
break your lease and everything too.
No, they didn't have to break my lease. They had to ship my car.
Oh.
So Sarah's messing with her nose ring.
I knew you were gonna say something. I was gonna say I'm not picking my nose. My nose ring was stuck. Like there's like this tiny gap. I want to get a closed nose ring, like a seamless nose ring, but I have to get that installed by a piercer. But there's like this little gap between the ball and the end of the nose ring, and sometimes it'll get stuck, and so I have to like turn it. It's weird. It's complicated. Having a pierced nose is a lot more complicated than you think it is. Don't get me wrong though, I love it. I would not trade my nose piercing for anything else. I love my nose piercing.
What else happened this week? I found out that one of my coworkers, one of the two I have, is leaving, which kind of sucks, but I'm happy for her. She is moving into a position that is remote, and she has the ability to, if she needs to relocate, she can. So it's good for her. I'm excited. Sucks that we're losing her because she was a really good coworker, and she was always wanting to learn, and she actually was collaborative with everyone else. Instead of combative, she was collaborative. Just nice.
Yeah.
Hate having coworkers that are combative for no reason, even.
Yeah. Like, oof. I've been pretty lucky with coworkers here the last year or two. Oh, sorry.
Bored, everyone. She's bored.
I'm not bored. I have a chronic illness and I have cancer. Leave me alone.
There she goes, pulling the C card.
Oh my God. The other day, okay, here's something that happened this week. So Tuesday night, Nick and I have date night. So we went to karaoke, and I've been really struggling with nausea and like being able to eat over the last week. An unpleasant side effect of having cancer. And I was finally hungry. Like I had gotten really high and I was finally hungry, and he's like, okay, we can get some pizza rolls because there was a pizza place right next door to the karaoke bar. He's like, we can get some pizza rolls. He's like, and we can split them, and there will be like one left over, and we can fight to the death over it. And I was like, or you could just give it to me because I have cancer. And he was just like, that's what you're gonna play the cancer card on? He's like, this is very low stakes. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I want the fucking pizza roll. I haven't been able to eat all week.
Think about this. When I'm dead, you won't have to fight me for the pizza roll.
Exactly.
Or when I'm going through my cancer treatments, whatever they are, you
Mhm.
won't have to fight me for those pizza rolls.
Exactly.
Um,
So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm totally gonna use like the cancer card on that. Yes, I want that pizza roll. And it was so funny because I didn't even eat the pizza roll anyway.
yeah. Well, do you want to wrap it up with our 3 love it and 3 shove it if you have any?
Yeah, sure. You go first.
Okay, first, I love my new laptop. I know no one, like most people, can't afford it, and the only reason I could is because I got my bonus. But a 2023 MacBook Pro 16-inch M2. Love it. It's been amazing.
Fantastic.
That's one of my love it's.
I love, what do I love? Well, I love that I got my appointment scheduled.
That's good. Exciting. My other love it is grapefruits. I love grapefruit. I need to actually get some more when we go to the grocery store this weekend. I eat them very oddly because I peel them and then take the sections, but I don't eat like the part that is around the actual like fruit part. There's like a small membrane that's on each
Oh,
section.
you don't eat like the skin,
I don't eat the skin, like the outer skin, but then like the like
the
thin
inner skin.
membrane that's
Yeah.
inside. Yeah. I always like rip them apart and I have to stand over the trash can to do it. Otherwise I get grapefruit juice all over me.
Okay. Interesting. I love this elephant that Nick made for me.
Aw, that's
His,
cute.
his name is Popcorn.
You should take a picture of it and I can put it on the Instagram.
I will. I love him very much. He's my cuddle buddy. He's my rock right now.
And then my last love it, I will have to say, is probably Bobo. He's in there
Of
sleeping
course.
in the bed. He will always forever be my love it because he's my brave little man and I love him so much.
No, little man. I miss him. I love the cows that I get to see on my way to work in the morning. They're adorable and they give me strength to face the day.
So some shove-its. My first one, I will have to say, if you have a bumper sticker or a window cling that says baby on board, it only makes me want to run into your car that much more.
Why are you so violent?
I hate these stickers, and there are at least 4 of them in the parking lot in my apartment complex. And this one person in their car, they park in front of the exit, leave their car there for like 20 minutes because they just had a fucking baby. So they think that they're entitled to leave their car there,
Right.
and just leave it there when they come back. It's like, no, you're not. Park it in a parking space. Get it out of my way.
Right.
Well, we'll piss on the tires. I hate those stickers, and I always see them around. I'm like, I just want to run you off the road.
I think for me, the only time that those stickers aggravate me is if they're driving like an idiot.
No.
And I'm just like, why are you driving like that if you have a baby on board? I think my shove it for this week is gonna be transphobes. Fuck y'all. That's it. Fuck y'all.
In the same vein, I would say the anti-drag legislation and the people that are pushing forward anti-drag legislation.
Yep.
And not pushing for more control on guns. I can't remember what his name was. He's one of the late night. I don't know if he's
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart, yeah, talking to a Republican, and he was like, they were saying, well, it's okay to govern or take away free speech from these people because it's potentially harming the children. And he's like, well, then why don't you do it with guns? You can't have this argument and not say the same thing about being okay for you to infringe on people's First Amendment rights, but it's not okay to infringe on Second Amendment rights for the same thing.
Yeah.
So screw your anti-drag legislation. Shove it up your ass.
Yep.
Freeze it in the freezer and shove it up your ass. Next, shove it, Sarah.
Let's see. My next shove it is having to pay for healthcare.
Yeah.
Healthcare should be free.
And then, yeah. I think the last thing I have is because it is tax season and everyone has to get their taxes done. I hate that I have to do my own taxes and the government can't just tell me, here's how much you owe, or here's how much we owe you based on how much you made.
Right.
You can't. They physically can.
Right.
They have the ability to because they have all the records. They just won't.
Yeah.
So screw taxes. I hate them. They're always a pain in the ass to do.
They are.
That's why I paid over $300 for someone to do it for me.
Ugh. And I think my last shove it is obviously just going to be endometrial cancer because fuck that shit.
It's understandable.
It's like very, very personal for me right now. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing this weekend? Do you have anything fun planned?
Nick is gonna come over and help me clean tomorrow because I haven't had enough energy to really do much, which is gonna be nice. And then other than that, no, I'm just chilling.
That's good.
What about you?
Not much. I mean, I just started my classes, so I have an assignment, a quiz, and discussion boards to do. And then right now I'm making some chicken quarters over potatoes that are in the oven. So I'm roasting that, and then I'll edit the podcast. I don't know how I'm going to do the episode this week on the website, though. Maybe just include links to like Mercury Stardust and the people that we talked about that have like an active social
Media
social
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably what I'll do.
We had a baked potato potluck at work the other day. And whoever brought potatoes brought cooked a 5-pound bag of potatoes and brought the whole thing in. So
nice.
I took like a crap ton of those potatoes home with me. So I'm gonna make some homemade mashed potatoes tonight.
So I have something funny to tell you. I was editing the podcast and this past weekend, laying in bed while my back was killing me. It's feeling much better now. But I was laying in bed and Ryan had just gotten out of the shower, I think it was after he got home and laid in the tub for a little bit, and I was editing the last portion of it where I did the scripted close, and I screwed up the scripted close last week so bad. You never heard it, the listeners never heard it because I cut it out. It was so screwed up. I ended up just saying, I'm just gonna have to redo this, and he heard it and he started laughing because I just cut it out, so you all listeners didn't have to hear it last week. But I screwed up the scripted close terribly.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Well, speaking of, it smells like my chicken is probably about done. So would you like to call it a podcast?
Yeah, I think we're going to call it a podcast.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. If you like this episode, please like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And please leave a message, damn it. Ugh. All right, we're doing it again. I'll leave this one in this week so you all can hear what happens. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. If you like this episode, please leave a comment, like, follow, and subscribe. And leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, as this will help get the podcast out to more people and help us grow. Please feel free to follow us on social media. Our Instagram handle is @NowAboutThatPod. And if there's something that you would like us to talk about on the podcast, feel free to email us at nowaboutthatpod@gmail.com or visit our website www.nowaboutthatproductions.com and add your contact information to the Contact Us section with whatever you would like us to discuss. Thanks again for listening, and we hope you have a great week since this will be coming out on a Monday. And Sarah, have a good weekend.
You as well.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.